Hey guys, happy Sunday and welcome to another webinar. So in today's webinar, what I'm going to do is a little bit of Russian roulette on the asset I'm going to analyze, for free. So basically, if you're new to this channel, just a disclaimer, I'm just showing the way. And even if you're old to this channel, I'm just showing my own personal way and my personal approach to the market. This is for educational use only. You can consult a professional financial specialist, to have your own consensus on the market and what you should do. But this is just my own personal outlook, and these are my own tools that I developed. So I'm just showing what I can. Now, without further ado, let's get into this. So for returners, thank you guys for, keeping up with me and all of this through these years, and you've seen how this has evolved. It's evolving to become what I actually intended it to be anyway. Initially, I was very hard on Telegram and, posting a lot and all of that. But now I'm more calm with the way I put it out. Now, in regards to analysis, I'm changing a little bit more. I'm doing a little bit of evolution. And I'm going to load up the COT report, and I'm going to do a Russian roulette, which is pick anyone that, my eyes land on and basically shoot straight. We're going to analyze that one. If it doesn't have anything, we'll choose another one random until we find one. And once we find one, the rest, I'm not going to do any analysis on them. But feel free to do your own analysis. You can always have access to the tools anytime you want. The website is business.dameempire.co.uk, right? So that being said, what we want to do is we want to look at the market. Before that, let me just quickly copy this link so you can see. Right. I don't know what's up with. So, and then if you want to get access to it, you do that. Close that price. Can be in small caps, doesn't matter. So business.dameempire.co.uk/pricing is where you go to get the access to this tool. Now I'm doing a heavy discount at the moment, especially if you're from Africa and Nigeria. You can get access to this discount. You'll be able to see it. So the discount code is on Telegram, so you can hop on Telegram and find that. The main reason I didn't post it here is because I didn't even intend to speak about it here, but I just spoke about it now. So you can hop on the Telegram. The link to the Telegram is going to be somewhere down below here, that you'll be able to find that. And maybe by the end of this video, I might be able to find the discount code on Telegram, and then I'll share it with you guys. Right. So that being said, what we want to do is, for the new guys, is we look into a strategy called secret trading combination. And the first thing we look at is COT. We then look at seasonality. And we then look at probability. Right. Now, COT is a tool available based on Freedom of Information Act, from the United States, which every institutional trader has to tender a position to the government. Now, they don't give us the names of the institution, neither do they give us exactly what they're trading, but they give us the direction they're going, and they give us a rounded consensus on the direction they're going. Now, there's various types of institutions. You have the banking institution, then you have the producers. Now, in the COT report, they're called commercials and non-commercials. Now, non-commercials, we fall under that category, retail traders, because we trade through the banks. Now, the commercials are the producers. So we're talking about people that produce gold, that mine gold, for example, or mine natural resources, or the farmer that has cows that milks them and all of that stuff. They're the commercials. And this is what it looks like. So my first Russian roulette, I'm just going to pick one around it. Right. So, for example, the US index. So the US, for example, is the United States dollars, USD index. The US, for example, is it's an asset on its own. The US index is an asset on its own. In regards to forex, you need two pairs. You need a pair of them in order to trade. Now, with this one on the COT, you get to see them in future format. So future format being individual, you have that individual and see what they're trading. Now, what I was speaking about earlier was the non-commercials and the commercials, right? It's commercials, non-commercials. We fall under the categories of non-commercials, and these are the commercials. Now, I tend not to take too long on this, explaining all of this, because it's just like those equations where you have when you're in school and you be taught to, do A equals to B minus C or something like that, or you do Pythagoras theorem, and it doesn't really, you don't really use them. So I only take what I need. I don't need to take more than I need. Exactly what I need, that's what I take. And that's what the market has taught me with time as well. What we're looking at now is commercials. We're looking if they're going long or short. Now, long means buy, short means sell. That's what it means. And what we're looking at is just the changes. Ignore all of this. What we're looking at is the changes. Are they buying or are they selling? In this case, they're buying and they're selling at the same time, similar positions. So those positions get added on to these ones, right? Now, we don't want that. We want them if they're either buying or if they're either selling, but in between, we don't want. Now, by me closing this, it's going to literally open another chart random. So see what it is. All right, the next one he gave us is Canadian dollars, right? Commercial, same rule, long or short, if they're buying or if they're selling. Apologies if you can hear washing machine in the background. I've changed the configuration of where I am, so that's why. Now, what's happening is you have the long or you have the short, right? Now, in the short means sell, long means buy. Now we're looking at the long, right? They had it 9,500 and 952 positions in there. I personally do not like it when they have less than 1,000 positions because it doesn't seem sufficient for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to touch this, right? That's rule number 2, right? Rule number 1 is simply me looking at it in terms of if they're going long or short, if one is red or if one is green. Rule number 2 right now is see that green is over 1,000, right? So we'll close that, go to the next one. Whichever one it gets next. This we have both of them already. They're taking away position from the short and the long. So they're literally confused. They're running away. I mean, there's an inverse to this rule, which I never really show. And this will be my first time actually speaking about it, which is if they take out, if you have not much position added to the long side, let's say they are like maybe less than 1,000, or if they have more than 1,000, a lot more, like let's say 9,000 plus to the long side, and they took out like 7,000 from their short side, then you know they're running from the shorts and going into the long, which means something dramatic is about to happen to that currency, So we move to the next one. Same rules. You see, right here you go 7,000, but you go 1,000 right here. We don't really do that. We want them to be clean. I like them clean anyway. I mean, it depends on you. This also doesn't look good. So far we ain't got nothing. You can see 11,000 position to the short, but they add into the long as well in euro. So market, you might find market consolidating or doing major raids. Swiss franc also is at 721, not up to 1,000. No, if you put 1,000 when you have 42,000, that's a huge percentage, And what you want to do is you want to look at it in terms of that percentages, right? That's another thing I haven't spoken about so far in this entire webinar I've been doing for like maybe 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, about 5 years. So this is another one. It doesn't look good on the Japanese yen. And lastly, let's check gold. Now look at down gold. Exactly what I was looking for. 11,000 position taken away from the long, while they added 26,000 to the short. You understand? That's a massive amount of position. Now, the first thing you do here in the strategy is right gold. Now, keep in mind, there's so many more COT reports, right? It's just not that one, right? There's so many more. Well, what I want to show you is now the raw format, for example, of the COT looks like this. So there's a lot more assets. You can look at the Mexican peso, for example. You can trade that. You trade into exotics and all of that. You can look at the micro E-mini S&P 500 index, depending on what your taste is and your appetite is like. And you can look at Bitcoin if you want. That's another thing. Actually, you can see that swing now. They're taking out that position from the short side, adding it to the long side, but not too much. A lot of these guys are pulling out their position on Bitcoin on short, which means they're running from Bitcoin. But that's that's another thing. And people don't even know that micro Bitcoin exists. Micro Bitcoin is another one. You can see right here they've added all their positions. So yeah, but what you can notice is commercials don't have a lot of positions in this one. Non-commercial people like you and I are the ones trading this. And look at the spread. It's ridiculous. Man, the spread in there is ridiculous, man. These are ridiculous numbers. All right, cool. So let's go back. So now we have, let me slow it down a little bit. We got gold on the, what did we get gold on again? We go down the short side. We got gold on short, then we have seasonality on gold. We got gold seasonality. Now, for those who haven't seen seasonality before, it's an average price movement within the last 5, 15, and 47 years on this particular asset. On other assets, it's different. Or you have your 5, then you have your 15, maybe then you have your 20 or 25, depending on how much historical data we have access to. Now, this is what COT looks like. And with COT, what we tend to look at is if the asset is aligned. So let's say times like this, for example, it's aligned and it's going up, we tend to trade that, right? And if it's aligned like this to go down, we trade that. But if it's something small consolidating like that, we don't trade that. We need a good stretch. So right now we're in October, right? So let's go October. We have October right here. So we're going to open that up. And we look at the date, 22nd right here. That's what we are. But we're looking at it going short, which means market going down. But from what we can see from the 5, 15, and 40 and 47 years, it doesn't look that way. Now there's an exception to this rule, but with the exception, it's slightly different. Now, with this one, for example, you see on the 24th, we have that going down. It doesn't look that good. The exception to the rule is not breaking the seasonality, just for your information. The exception to the rule is this. We know that there's war going on, right? Israel and Palestine, war going on. Now, you know, I don't condone and support violence in any way or any form, right? So God bless those people that are in pain and calling on God, you know, for assistance. But I believe humanity, we need to be kind to one another. And we don't need to do something just because we have the power to do it. You know, just because you have the power to do something doesn't mean you should do it. It's understanding how to utilize that power. So I'm not taking any sides or saying one or this. I'm just saying in humanity as general, you know, we have to look out for one another. We are all brothers and sisters. Now, in regards to the market, this is where some people draw the line, which is, and this is how certain people get rich and ridiculously rich, is when there's blood in the water, right? You know what that means? There's sharks everywhere. And when there's sharks there, there's food. Now, the question is, if you know that there's war going on, look at history. What has happened to the market anytime that there's war going on? And one asset in particular, gold. That's where you find the exception to the rule. I would have loved to tell you more than that, but I think that breaks it down enough. So that's the only exception to the rule right here. So the COT report is going to reflect what the emotions of people are, because gold has been seen as a safe haven in almost every country. So COT report, from the reflection of what I'm seeing, is slightly different from what I'm expecting. But if you look at gold, most time when there's war, when they announce it, you see what happens to gold at that period. You know, so that's one thing you should do your research on. But apart from that, the COT is actually not reflecting what I'm thinking of. So for that reason, I'm just gonna let it go. Right, that's all I have for you guys this week. I mean, it is quite a lengthy one. I mean, you know, opening up a little bit, but I just believe sometimes, you know, when you feel like going for it and fully explaining something or explaining something to a deeper depth, it's necessary. So that being said, guys, you know, have a lovely trading week ahead and trade safe. Godspeed. Now there's more assets to what's it called? There's more assets that you can analyze that I haven't analyzed at all. So there's massive ones behind what's it called? the seasonality, right? For example, if you go to seasonality, you have some forex seasonality, or you have some stock probability, and you have some stock seasonalities. There's a lot of probabilities actually available, and you can look into those asset class. But I don't really do that in this webinar, so I just try to keep it as simple as possible. So that being said, guys, that's all I have for you this week. If you want to analyze more and go into the market, if you really want to trade, then you should go to, this website, which is my website, businessofdarrenbuyer.co.uk/pricing, and you'll be able to get, access to the tools right there. In regards to the discount, you need to follow me on Telegram. The Telegram group is down in the comment, so you can follow up on that and then utilize that link in Telegram. Actually, I found the link. I'm just going on Telegram right now. It's called Big Sell. That's a discount. So if you're in the Nigeria region, use the Big Sell discount code and it will drop the price massively. This is the biggest price drop I've had. And this was even done without doing a percentage calculation, just a drop, literally. This is mainly because of perspective, in the country, because I've been in Nigeria for a while now, for like a month plus, just over a month, yeah. And I've been able to speak to some people. I understand something different. I gain a different perspective. I just put it that way. Right. So that's all I have for you guys. That's the discount code Big Sale. Make sure you join me on Telegram, and then we catch up for next week. Right. Trade safe and catch you on the next one. Take care.